Some leaders fly so high, they forget the people holding on to the ladder. And when they fall, it's rarely the business that breaks first, it's the trust. Hi, I'm Kathy Doherty, the People Navigator, and I help small business owners and leaders avoid hiring and holding on to horrible people. The myth of Icarus tells us about a young man who flew too close to the sun, ignored warnings, and fell into the sea. But here's what most people miss. Daedalus didn't just say, don't fly too high. He also said, don't fly too low. The lesson was balance, not fear, and not control. And another truth, Icarus wanting to soar wasn't reckless. It was human. He'd been trapped. He wanted freedom. He wanted joy. And now let's talk bias. In this whole story, where is Naucrate, Icarus's mother? She's barely mentioned. In fact, you have to hunt for any reference to her. No wings for her, no escape plan. And this reflects an ancient pattern of women being erased from history, from stories, treated as disposable, while men dominated the narrative. Don't get me wrong, I love Greek mythology, but as a woman, it's hard to ignore. And that dynamic still echoes in workplaces today. When leaders prioritize their own vision and treat some people as expendable. In today's world, the Icarus dynamic looks like leaders dismissing feedback because they think they know better, blame raising faster than accountability, unclear expectations disguised as or called common sense, and power protecting itself while others carry the risk. And when leaders treat people as replaceable or ignore voices they've decided they don't value, trust collapses. And here's what that looks like in real workplaces. Feedback dismissed as noise. Employees raise concerns or challenges or question, and leaders shut them down. Blame cycles. When things go wrong, the first instinct is who messed up, instead of what broke in the system or the process or where did the issue arise, as opposed to throwing people under a bus. And we've all dealt with those sorts of people. Invisible contributors, things like emotional labour, clarity work and stabilising roles, which is often tasks carried out by women or where women are expected to be the stabilising force in terms of the emotional side of things, and where they go unrecognised. It happens in society, it happens in the workplace. It doesn't only just appear in the workplace. And that continues to build until the culture cracks. There's also a gender bias in blame. Men's mistakes can be typically classified as risk-taking, being bold and ambitious and willing to give it a go, where women's mistakes are framed as being irresponsible, not based on a business type approach to things. And there was something recently on LinkedIn which exactly framed this, to do with a vegan cheese pioneer in the United States and the commentary that she faced over failures in the business that she had already left. She had left years before the issues arose, and she was blamed. This bias is still shaping hiring, promotion, and performance reviews and assessments. It still colours people's judgments, quite often without them even knowing. Here are 3 tools to help you break that Icarus pattern. The expectation replay. After giving instructions, ask, what's your understanding of success? What might get in your way? This can help to catch any misalignment early on before things get well underway. The feedback opener. Each week ask, what's one thing I am doing that's getting in your way and making your job harder? What's one thing we should improve as a team? Getting to a bigger picture. And remember to listen without defensiveness. You're encouraging feedback, because that's the only way you can improve, the business can improve, and individuals can improve within your business. The No Blame Debrief. When something goes wrong, which it will at some point, begin with what conditions made this possible. You're focusing on fixing the system, the process, the approach, not the person. And that's usually the best way to get people to lower their defenses, because you know if things go wrong, the walls will go up, protection, metaphorical protection gear will go on, and it can be very difficult to try and get to what the issue actually is, because everybody's expecting to be thrown under the bus. And if that's generally how you approach things, you've got a lot of work to do, but you might also be dealing with their baggage from previous experiences that you had nothing to do with. The Icarus story isn't about ambition. It's about balance and responsibility. Leaders who ignore feedback and treat people as disposable don't just lose trust, they lose talent. In the next episode, we'll explore Odysseus and how to lead through chaos without creating it. Make sure to follow if you want to build workplaces where belonging isn't a myth, it's a choice. And pop to the website if you'd like your free downloadable Thriving Leadership Playbook, and to sign up for the weekly newsletter called One Step at a Time, where I encourage you with hints and tips to approach developing and improving your leadership style and skills one step at a time. See you next time.